Hey guys, welcome to ANX Gamecast, level 141. I'm Unbiased and I'm here with Genesis and Terrence.
Who the hell?
T-Money.
Long time
It's
coming.
been a minute.
Been some years,
Yep.
bruh. I ain't seen you in 3 years.
Bruh.
Yeah,
Well, that's
well,
not true.
that's not true.
But
right. But that's where you see all the gray and stuff. You haven't seen me in a while. So yeah. I'm trying to make a comeback.
okay. So damn
What's
it.
wrong?
I don't know. The screen just froze up. So I don't know if we should just keep going or we need to stop, but it seems to have corrected itself. So anyway,
We'll see.
we'll see.
All right, what are y'all excited to talk about today?
Terrence.
What you got?
So I'm ready to talk about anything. I'm Mortal Kombat.
Whatever.
just
He's like,
whatever.
he's up for whatever.
I have not been here in years.
So you got 3 years worth of stuff to talk about. 3.5 years, I think. Or
Yes.
something like that.
Yes.
So you got all that. I guess I'm excited to talk about either my anime or the PlayStation Portal. I can't decide. Like I got two things and I'm super excited to talk about.
Unbiased and
What you got?
I'd be excited to talk about Dragon Ball Z.
Dragon Ball Z. All right, so everybody listening, make sure y'all like this video. Make sure you subscribe. And I've been trying to do a better job of putting questions on all here in the comments on all our videos in the comment section. So make sure you answer the question, even if you don't have an answer to the question. Just comment anything because that's how YouTube gets down today.
Well, and just let us know if you hate what we're saying. Or if you need more content or whatever.
Don't be too mean because I don't want to have to come after you. But yeah, comment anything below, anything you want us to know, anything you think we should talk about, anything you want us to, anything you want to see. I don't know. We got props sometimes. Anyway, y'all ready for round one?
Yep.
round one.
Round one in the anime that we are currently watching.
What?
What's this?
Dragon Ball Z. You know what this is. Like you've been watching since you were in diapers.
Mm-mm.
Well, not really,
No.
but whatever.
Terrence, you know anything about Dragon Ball Z?
I know a little bit.
Okay. So I'm by saying, what you got?
All right, I'm gonna try to keep this quick because sometimes I'll just be telling y'all every little detail of everything I saw. So I'm gonna try to keep it quick. So basically, where I'm at now, Vegeta
brief.
Vegeta has come out of the chamber and is basically messing with Cell. It's very annoying because it's like, just end it. And he's kind of toying with him. You know what I mean? And it's just
Super Vegeta.
You're right. And it's
Not any Vegeta.
Right.
Don't be disrespectful.
now at this point, just as a reminder, Cell has only consumed 17. Okay. Also happening right now is Krillin is supposed to be turning off and destroying 18 to prevent Cell from consuming her, but he's just completely madly in love and can't find it in his heart to do so. So anyway, and for the 150th time, somebody has said, I think it was Trunks this time, somebody has told 18, get out of here.
Move around.
For the 5,000th time.
Because this should be so easy thing to accomplish because no one can detect her power level.
Correct.
So
Right.
if you just move around,
But she just won't leave.
yeah.
And it's like, you're an android. What is up with all these emotions? I get it. We talked about it last time, like Data, but Data was not super emotional.
Well, when he got his chip, he was.
He was, but
So I'm comparing them more to when Data got his chip.
okay.
But when
that's
he
true.
was when he got his chip, he was overly emotional.
Yeah.
Oh, there was a time, where it was like too
Yeah.
much.
So because pretty much throughout, he had basically factual. Everything had to make sense and it was factual, logical.
So you've been away 3 years. You come back with Star Trek info.
He's
I
been
do.
watching. He knows what's up.
Okay, all right.
So the other thing is, Vegeta, not only is it annoying that he's sitting there toying with Cell, he then decides, okay, you know what? Go ahead, consume 18. Do it. I'm going to let you go. I'm going to let you go do that so that I can truly see how strong I am. And guess what?
What? Because I ain't seen this. I don't know what happens.
Oh, yeah, no. Now Vegeta's like, because Cell comes back and Vegeta's not doing anything. Nothing he does is affecting it.
Okay.
So anyway, that's really where I'm at right now. And I'm just like, I cannot believe I cannot believe he did this. I cannot believe that I just have no words.
So he already consumed the Android where you're at.
Yeah.
So this is one thing that was shocking to me going back and watching it again that I didn't realize this happened. That Gohan turned Super Saiyan in the same episode that Cell became Perfect Cell.
Oh yeah. I forgot to. Yeah, because
Oh,
they're it did
In
show
the
them in the
hyperbolic-
chamber.
In the hyperbolic.
Yeah. So that was the one thing that stood out to me. I was like, oh, I didn't realize, because, you know, stuff just happens 20 years ago and episodes kind of blend together. And I was like, oh, that actually happened in the same exact episode. So, so we talked about this a little bit on the last episode, and I said that my favorite saga was the Cell Saga, Perfect Cell Saga.
Perfect Cell, yeah. Which
And
I guess this is what we've gotten into. Now.
Yeah, I mean, because there was a certain point too where the graphics just got considerably better. They got a little bit better from what was going on in the Android saga, and you know, every saga or every, you know, whatever, the graphics did get better. So it's not the best Dragon Ball Z graphics, but it, you know, it was at that point where it's like, okay, these are now good graphics. You know, as to before, there'd be certain parts that were good, and like I said, I just like Perfect Cell. I just liked his character and the fact that he has everybody's moves and all that kind of good stuff. So to me, he's a really cool villain.
Yeah, because the other thing that was mentioned here is Trunks says, I think at the end of the episode, the last episode that I saw, that he's technically stronger than Vegeta.
Correct.
But he doesn't want him to know, right? Because he's still trying to earn this love or whatever from his dad. So it's going to be interesting to see what happens here.
Which is really those dynamics, because most of the stuff that we watched or witnessed, if two people are in the same reality, something happens. But in this one, nothing.
Yeah.
So it's kind of a kind of a weird dynamic, but it's also Dragon Ball Z.
Oh, the other thing that went against the prediction I made at some point on it was the very end of some recent show. That's not gonna go because I thought that Krillin could just turn off 18, but you can't just what he says in the show is, I can't just turn her off. I have to destroy her, because if I just turn her off, Cell can still consume her and he still gets her powers. So it's not a matter of just like turning the android off.
So I'm not even sold that would have worked anyway, honestly.
Oh, about destruction?
Right. Because I don't know if it's, you have to be powered on to be, I don't want to say indestructible, but indestructible to somebody like Krillin. I don't know if you have to be powered on for that, or even if you're powered down and you're shut down, I still feel like he wouldn't be able to destroy her.
Oh yeah.
But he had the little device.
But the device was just to kind of shut her down, and then he was supposed to blast her to destroy her. I'm like, I'm not even sure he.
But and those small intricacies. When I first witnessed some of the things, I didn't peep them out. As time has progressed, of course, you know, we see difference. You know, we see, oh, that's what he had to do. Oh, that's what they were meaning. It's almost like, you know, every time you watch something once or twice,
you see new stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, yeah. So
So it's still good. I'm still liking it.
Still liking it? Okay.
But it's just frustrating that Vegeta, for his own, you know, selfish, I want to see how strong I am, like my ancestors, or whatever he was saying. It's like you the whole world could get destroyed here, buddy. And
yeah, but see, I think, and I mean, you've seen Super, so I'm not really spoiling anything. So it's not really selfish. They're painting it as selfish, but this is just kind of ingrained in them. Like they can't control it.
The Saiyan.
Yeah. Like they can't help it.
Well, he can't, but it's always been, I think I've said this once before, pride before the fall. That's like his build every time something happens. Prideful, fall.
Yep.
Prideful, fall.
I can see that.
Now they also tie in redemption.
Red Dead?
Red
No.
No, redemption.
Oh, just regular redemption.
Regular redemption,
Okay.
where he, even though he falls, something happens, and his redemption is he goes forward. There's like an outer part of him that goes forward, then allows him to peak
Yeah.
after his fall.
That widow's peak in the middle of his forehead?
No.
No?
No.
Okay. All right. So anyway, that's all you got?
I got.
That's all you want? You don't want 20 minutes this time?
I mean, I could keep going, but
No.
I'll wrap it up.
Let's just
Because last time I was asking like 50 million questions. I'm like, what about this? What about this? And why did you do this? And why did you do that? And
it was a whole full episode, one
should've
full
just done-
podcast
that could've
worth
just
of
been
content.
yeah.
One just on Dragon Ball Z. So anyway, let's move on to the next one. Mushoku Tensei. Jobless Reincarnation. Terrence, you know anything about this?
Terrence.
I keep seeing stuff about it, but it just doesn't pique. It didn't pique my interest.
So this is what happened. This is what happened. So Mike B was here. I don't have a button for Mike B. Mike B was here. We did a podcast. He said he was watching Jobless Reincarnation season 2. So fast forward to like a day later, there was some kind of Amazon sale, right? And Amazon did something. So I'm just kind of going through my cart to seeing if anything in my cart was on sale. I scrolled down 100 items later, and this first season was in my cart, and it had been in my cart for a couple of years.
Oh, so this is nothing new.
This first season, I think the second season is new.
Okay.
Right. So I'm like, all right, let me just go ahead. And Mike said he liked it. So I'm gonna just go ahead and watch it. So I didn't put it in my cart because like I read about it. Right. Like, it's not like I read about it and I know what it's about. You know, when you get to the point, well, I don't know if you know, but I'm gonna try it. I'm gonna try this.
Okay.
Experiment here. You know, when you get to the point where you watch enough anime where you can just look at the art design and determine this is probably a good anime. Sometimes it's not 100%, but it's just like you look at how the graphics are on the back or the back cover,
I feel like I do that.
or certain screenshots, and you'd be like, I think this has some kind of quality to it. Let's put it that way. It might not be good, but there's certain quality to it. So if you get an anime with bad graphics and it's bad story and it's a terrible experience. So that's the only reason I put this in my cart, because I saw the art design and the graphics and I was like, all right, I'm putting it in the cart. I'm not gonna buy it.
I can see that because I liked it. I like the art design.
Yeah. So I didn't, because obviously I didn't buy it. We watched this on Funimation, the Funimation app streaming.
Okay. One of the top 3.
Yeah, but it was enough for me to at least take that first step to make sure that it stays on my radar by putting it in my cart. Okay. So now that we get to watching it,
that the whole pause. It's like, yeah.
Okay. All right. So maybe I might take the 20 minutes this time.
Okay.
So the way it started off was, I was liking it. I was like, this is kind of dope because it was in modern times, like today, right? And it was dark. Like, it was dark. It was serious. It was adult. The music was like, and so basically what happened is the guy, he died. He got hit by a truck.
Oh, okay. I was like,
right?
I was saying bus, but yeah, truck.
Well,
probably.
whatever. He got hit by something in the road, and then he died. And that's how it starts off. They don't really show you everything, but
so it wasn't graphic, like where they took the car.
No, not. But I think they're slowly piecing together what exactly happened to him.
Okay.
Right. So they're just showing you kind of flashes, right? But it was real dark. It was rainy outside. It was a dark night. It was real serious. It was like they were trying to save his life. It was like real serious, intense. And I was like, oh, I'm liking this. And then when he wakes up as a newborn baby.
As a newborn?
Not just a newborn baby, but a newborn baby in like some other type of realm or universe where they have magical powers and spells and sorcerers and knights with swords and like all that kind of good stuff.
Yeah.
So my one question.
Okay.
Is he what do you say? He knows.
And this is the same question I asked when Mike was talking about it.
Okay.
It's the child himself seems to have his own personality, but you can hear
he's self-aware.
Yeah, you can hear him talking the whole time.
Okay.
Which also led me to having some issues with this show.
Okay.
So you're thinking out loud, like okay, I'm gonna just go ahead and talk about 2 main issues. One, it is perverted for no reason. For no reason, it has like all these weird, not even gestures and innuendo. Like, it is like full on like No, somebody beating off in the bedroom under the covers for no reason.
Oh,
So it's a lot. It's so
Like,
is it innuendo?
no.
Oh.
Like the first thing he said when he woke up as a baby was all like, oh, who is this person here? Oh, look at the tits on her.
it was his mom. Because at first he's confused because he's like, "What's going on?" And then he figures out. But go ahead, yeah.
So
So they use that. The innuendos are used as in a sense of confusion.
Well, because it's like in his mind, he's a grown man.
Yeah, he's a grown
So it's
man.
the self-aware.
He's a grown man, like 20. How old was
I
he?
thought it was like 34.
Whatever, year-old version.
Virgin, yeah.
Virgin, yeah. So he's just some kind of loser nerd, whatever you want to call him, before he died.
Okay.
And so he just has that same mentality. So that is happening, and that just takes me completely like out of the show.
Okay.
Like it's just like this is weird. Like it's like too much. And it's not that type of show.
Yeah.
Like the other 85% of the show has like nothing to do with that. It's just what you kind of see on the screen right here. It's just like some kids kind of on an adventure, growing their powers as sorcerers and blah, 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 and a family dynamic and meeting new friends. And we're going to go out and we're going to have a good time and train. And, oh, you're getting bullied. I'm going to save you from the bully. Like all that kind of stuff. And then all of a sudden there would just be a scene where it's just like, oh, mom and dad are getting it in up in the room while I'm up here studying my book.
Like loud.
Like loud.
Like it was very obvious what was going on.
And it's just like, why is this necessary?
And they kept showing him naked. That I don't like that. They kept showing him like a little boy walking around naked. It's like,
yeah, I'm used to that.
oh,
So that part, there was nothing sexual about him being naked.
no, it wasn't sexual. I just felt like,
But there's just all this overly sexual stuff for no reason.
So this is not a. It's not like young kids can watch this.
It's rated M. Is MA.
yeah.
And does this look like an MA
It does not.
photo to you?
No.
And this could easily be PG. If they took those scenes out, this would easily be PG.
Because, most of the time in graphics so you look at this graphic right here, most of the MA stuff, her top is heavily overly proportioned.
Yeah.
And then his face is, it contorted in a sense, but in this it's just like okay.
No.
Yeah.
So like everything. So the other thing that kind of made me like scratch my head was he's thinking all these things. Like he wakes up and like, oh, look at this lady's chest, right? But somehow he has to learn how to read again. That's the part that had me scratching my head.
Oh yeah, that was kind of weird.
Like I thought this was going to be a situation to where since he has 34 years of experience, I know how to read and I know how to comprehend little things. I don't have to learn how to eat, right? And read, and I have a head start on learning all the sorcery, right? Because I can learn how to do these spells before I can even talk or something like that.
So when you say learn how to read again, was it basic reading or was it reading
That's why
specific in?
No, he said I got to learn how to read again.
Oh, okay. Okay.
So I'm just like, that made me scratch my head. Everything outside of that, I liked. Like, I mean, the graphics were really good. The sound and the music and all that kind of stuff. The voice acting, really good. The magic and the spells and all that stuff was cool. And then all of a sudden, this overly perverted scene for no reason.
But it was gone after that, right? So it was like,
well, stuff just keeps happening.
So it's like a hidden run, like something hidden, but it's not hidden.
No, it's not hidden.
it just kind of comes in every once in a while.
So it's not a running joke.
No,
It's not a joke. No.
Like in every episode, his parents were getting it in really super loud.
So that is kind of a running joke. Like in every episode, the parents get it in.
It's not every episode, but
you know what I'm saying. Like, sometimes running jokes don't.
Yeah, but it didn't feel like a joke.
It didn't feel like a joke.
Oh, okay.
It just felt like that was his life. That's how it is. They didn't care.
And when I say it's perverted, it's not that they were just getting it in, but it was like clear, like the sun was up, he heard it, and it's like it didn't care. But no one cared. But this girl here, who's also probably a teenager, like she was living with them to help teach him with his magic. And then she out in the hallway listening too, going through her little problems. And I think that's the other problem I had with this show. When you have a child, he's 4 years old, talking about and having perverted thoughts about all these girls. He's 4. And he turned 5 in the episodes that we were watching. The girl here is 12 or 13. I don't know how old she is, but she's not grown. And she was also, right? And then he meets this other little girl who he thought was a boy. And then he's pulling her clothes off and they're getting, I was just like, all that, I'm not down with all that.
Yeah.
That's not cool. This is what I will say. I said it on the last show. I'm going to say it again. If you're going to have fan service in the show, this show so far has no payoff.
Yeah.
There's no nudity. Which is even more of a reason why you could have just cut that out in the dub. You could have cut some of that. You didn't have to have them having sex and you can hear it.
Yeah, I don't know what the point of that was.
You just cut that. You could just cut that part out because it has nothing to do with anything.
Also, it's the noise. So it's the bound chicka wow wow.
Yes, loud.
Yes. Oh. So and there's no payoff. So I'm not saying that this would be better or I don't know if it would be better if there was the payoff. My thing is though, if you're watching Berserk, how would you feel about Berserk if every time he was about to decapitate someone, they didn't actually show it, they just showed him swing the sword and then a black screen and then you just kind of see a person dead on the ground? You wouldn't like that as much.
That'd be weird.
And then
you want to see the head sliced off, right?
Yeah, I think in some anime here recently I did see that.
Yeah, it happens, and it's
like
a let
black.
that. Yeah, it's black. Yeah.
And then
how would you feel if there was a rom-com and then the two people finally get together and about to kiss, but they just cut the scene off and don't ever show it?
I would hate it.
Right. So that's how and it's not my personal feelings, but I just think anybody who's watching this, you don't get that payoff in here.
So you really feel like this anime is fan service?
No, that's what I'm saying. Like, it's not. And then it just has all this extra perverted for nothing. It makes no sense.
Okay.
And then everything outside of that is cool.
Yeah.
Like I like everything outside of that, but I think I don't know if it would be even more weird, but if they had the payoff in there, it might even be more weird. Like there's shows like Goblin Slayer or Meet the Girl in the Dungeon, right?
Is it wrong to date a girl in the dungeon?
And there's more consistent perverted Master Roshi stuff going on.
Yeah.
All the time. It's not just like one scene, one part of one episode. It's kind of like that's multiple characters' personality where they're always trying to get the girl or they want to see something, and it's not quite like that with this.
Yeah, because in Goblin Slayer, usually if you're getting it in, it is based upon something negative. The ape word. So on Goblin Slayer is something negative. On Is It Right to Date a Girl in the Dungeon, it's more frolicky.
But I just feel like even the name of that show, that's more in line with the constant perverted fan service.
Rather than Jobless Reincarnation. It has nothing to do with Jobless Reincarnation. I got you.
Yeah. So I'm hoping that he gets more normalized as a person. And that's the other thing that's happening. He's overcoming some of his stuff, right? Because he was bullied and all that.
So this is character development portion.
Right. So hopefully I'm hoping he gets to a point where he stops being so perverted. And then all that stuff kind of just slowly fades out of the anime. That's what I'm hoping for this show. But right now, it's like, what did you think about it?
I liked it. I didn't really mind the first episode where he makes the comments about her boobs, because it's like, he's a grown man. Like, he sees, he doesn't know that that's his mom. He's just like, oh, whatever. Because she's got them all out. First of all, she's got huge boobs. They make it very apparent, and she's got them all out. So it's like,
they're not out, but they're out enough to where. So basically, what I see here is nothing like.
No. It's not. It's not graphic.
Well, no. What I'm saying is,
no. There was a lot of cleavage though in that first scene.
Right. What I'm saying is, I look here, I see itties, cookies.
Mm-hmm.
Well, you say with mom.
But so the mom, yes, they were big, but they're not like what you were talking about. You know how they have stuff just hanging out everywhere with
Not
the
like
cleavage.
Porkies.
Right. No, not like that. Not like that.
No,
But enough to where it's not
like
but,
I don't even think that was. It would have been hard to even confuse that with fan service.
Okay.
I just felt like it was more just there was cleavage. But in all the other episodes, she's fully covered. But they
Okay.
make it very apparent that she's got
Yeah,
really big boobs.
Yeah.
So anyway, my point though is that didn't really bother me that much.
I let that one go.
And I liked it at first. Like the first episode, I was like, okay.
Mm-hmm.
Halfway through the second episode, I'm going through the second, and I was like, okay. And then at some point, it just kind of went downhill for me. I think it might have been the third episode. That scene with him trying to take off that girl's clothes, even though she thought it was a boy.
He thought
it was a boy.
Yeah.
It still was like super uncomfortable. And I get it. He's 6 years old.
5.
I think. Oh, I thought the dad said you were 6.
Oh,
but whatever.
Whatever.
I get it.
But
that
he was still a little kid.
yeah, he's young, but it's like, why are you
Young,
basically forcing this person to take their clothes off? It's just so, it was a little awkward.
Especially knowing that the person is 35. And
oh, well, that too. I didn't even think about that.
Yeah, that's even more weird.
Yeah, that's even more weird.
Because one person is really 5 or 6, and then the other person is 35, 6.
Right.
Trying to take a kid's clothes.
I forgot
off.
about that because in the scene, he's kind of acting like a 5 or 6 year old.
Yeah, that's the other thing. Like that kind of happens.
Yeah.
Like I think what started and second was I don't like the voice actor for the 34-year-old.
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't like it. But as we go on, he's talking less and less and less and less.
Okay.
So
And the little boy is talking
and
more.
the little boy's
Like,
talking more.
Yeah.
So you kind of forget sometimes that he's even there. But yeah, that was kind of weird too. It's just like why would you?
And they turned it into a lesson. Like the dad was trying to say, like, that's not okay. People have boundaries, and
Okay.
they turned it into a lesson, but it was still super awkward.
Right.
Like it was just kind of like icky. I don't know.
Yeah. But just because they were kids.
So I wouldn't watch this again, but I will if you're gonna continue. I'll just kind of hang out and watch it.
Why are you putting it on me?
I'm just saying because we've talked about like giving something 3 episodes.
Yeah.
That's your thing more than mine, but
Have
I'm
you
just
given
saying.
it 3 episodes?
Yeah, we finished episode 3. So it's just like the way it's trending, I would keep watching it because it's less of this 34-year-old man and more of the boy growing up and learning magic and spells and
But here's the problem with all of that. It's still in your back of your mind.
Yeah.
This 34-year-old man in a kid's body doing kid things that we know. Yeah, it's the creepy. It's a cultural difference, I guess.
I guess.
Yeah.
Cultural difference.
Yeah. We'll give it a few more and see what happens.
we'll see what happens. And and it also might sometimes I have the 3 episode rule, right? However, if I look up and there's only 10 episodes and I've already watched 3, it's just like, Now, if I watch 3 and there's 40 episodes, it's like, nah.
Mm-mm.
But it's just like, if there's only 7 more episodes, it's like, I might as well finish it.
Oh, okay. So the first season wasn't very long.
I don't know. That's why I said I gotta look into that.
Okay.
So
Okay.
Yeah.
Anyway, one more. What is this?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
What is this demon?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
This is Tokyo Ghoul Re.
Okay.
So Tokyo Ghoul came out. Came out mid to late 2016.
Yeah.
It had 3 seasons.
Okay.
And then there was like the first 2 seasons, and then there was a stoppage.
Okay.
In 2016. So 2015 through 2016, it was running hard. It was hard running. And this is what I do. Like in my anime, I need chaos. I need heads getting chopped off.
Chop.
I can do without the berserk and the ape. All of the ape scenes. I don't need that. I just need and then the sensual sides.
I don't need it either. Need is wrong word. I don't need it, but there's something adult about it.
So okay, so the visual side.
Serious. There's something serious about it. There's something adult about it.
Correct.
Where it was just like
Yeah.
I said, I don't need it, but
You know when you get it, you know it has the purpose for it means that something really bad is happening.
right.
Okay.
Yeah.
So like Berserk, it was always some debauchery in Berserk, but this one, it didn't deal with sexuality at all. Tokyo Ghoul dealt with Kineke, who's the main protagonist, and basically, he is the virgin in the group, and he's like, he's like
Two virgin animes.
it seems to be.
I mean, there's some virgins running around yours.
I think that's a cultural thing because a lot of the anime deal with the protagonist being like clueless.
Yeah.
And I think that the sexuality part with that clueless means he's usually a virgin.
Mm-hmm.
So he got a homeboy, best friend, and they go to the coffee shop. This is kind of starting the first one, and from there, he goes on a date, and then from there it just goes wild whirlwind. So at the end of the second season, pretty much everybody in the coffee shop is murked. They done. They done.
Thanos.
And even the people because he's the anti-hero. I am the anti-hero. I want to save everybody, but you can't always save everybody. And so he kind of gets caught up in a situation where everybody dies. Best friend trying to help him gets murked too.
Oh.
And then because at the end of 2 they walk up to each other, and he's like, "Hey, I made this crummy coffee," and his friend makes current coffee, and he's like, "Oh, homie." He's like, "Dude, I know that you was a ghoul." You see all this blood dripping on the floor, and they still having these dialogue back and forth, but you don't know who's bleeding. Back and forth, and then it is his friend. So basically, he got caught out trying to help the homie, but he's human, and he had a hole in his stomach, and he wound up dying.
Oh man.
So Kineke, he felt like he had nothing to live for. So in that process, top brass, they go at it. He's walking with his friend, puts his friend down, looks to do it eye to eye, and then that's how the season 2 ends. So in this one, it was kind of weird because it's a whole different looking guy.
Mm-hmm.
They are part of the CCG, which is the group that hunts the ghouls. And there are bits and pieces that say this is his alter ego.
Okay.
And so that's kind of where it kind of goes. I mean, the CCG has done other things. They up there. They have this. Their weapons are called Tensei, which are basically they take parts of the ghouls when they kill them and use their attributes to make weapons that can kill ghouls or help them protect them against ghouls. So this one has been really, really good, but it's more of it's not as graphic as far as, because in the first 2 seasons, it was like, I'll cut your head off. No black screen, cut your head off. I'm going to punch a hole through your stomach. You're going to, but they were ghouls. So a lot of them could, regenerate.
Yeah.
But, so it was a lot of blood and guts. Not so much guts, but blood.
Guts is in the show?
No, guts not in here.
I was about to go turn it. I was about to y'all can finish the anime.
Right.
Y'all can finish the pod. I'm going to just go watch.
Costco wasn't in there. No
Costco.
No
So
Costco.
is this related to Tokyo Ghoul? How do I know Tokyo Ghoul? What is that?
I think you probably just seen the Funko Pops.
Yeah.
Oh, that's right. Is that an anime?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Is this
And
related?
manga. So this is what happens after season 2.
Oh.
So it's basically him, alter ego, going through his daily lives, but in the back of his mind, Kineke is there. So anytime he needs like a power boost or one up, he says, "Okay, take over.
Give me the green mushroom.
Yeah, go ahead and take over, because you're better than me anyway. But I don't want to be forgotten." That's something big in the first 3 episodes. Neither person or pseudo character wants to be forgotten.
Yeah.
Because there's two identities living in the same body.
But just like my Jobless Reincarnation. It's the same show.
but he ain't 34.
It's the same show.
And it's a cultural thing. When I watch anime, sometimes I think sometimes like what you saying, it's kind of quirky and weird. It's quirky and weird to us because we don't see it like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's a part of their culture, a subset of their culture. I'm not gonna say the whole culture that doesn't view the child-like stuff as such a negative thing.
Yeah, because in this one, they have murk a kid.
Right.
And they don't see it the same. In all our shows, oh, the kid died. Oh Lord.
Killing children.
If the kid even dies.
Yeah. Somebody will come and save the kid at the last minute. It's a thing about kids.
And then I'm not saying I like the fact that the kid died, but that's what drew me into Gundam Wing when, there was a hero when he realized within the battles of the war that he had killed that kid, he accidentally killed that kid. And
then he had to deal with the
yeah. So I was like, oh,
well,
this is different.
And I thought about that, not to go too far backwards, but in Jobless Reincarnation, I wondered that too because, they kept showing like when he was trying to take a bath with the other little boy, you know what I mean? Like here, well, I don't know, I don't have kids, but like I don't know if people have their 5 and 6-year-old children take baths with other children that like they don't know very well.
So I do know brother and brother taking a bath together.
Yeah, that siblings fine.
And then
Friends?
brother and sister up until maybe about 3, 4.
Right.
Then you got to they separate them. But us just hey.
But
I'm gonna come over to your house. We're gonna take a bath together.
So, but this is
sir.
also set in a time where it was like drawing you a bath was in a wooden.
Right.
A wooden crate in your bathroom with hot water in it.
Well, but what I was gonna say though is
like it's old timey.
But it is old timey. That's true. But what I was really the point I was gonna make is from a cultural standpoint, maybe that's more of an American thing. Because like a lot of times, with nudity, Americans treat it kind of weird. Foreign countries are it's like no big deal. It's whatever. We got they got beaches and so anyway, I was just pointing out like I had that thought when I felt uncomfortable. I was like, well, maybe they don't view this as weird. Mm-hmm. I don't know. Anyway.
And I mean, I get that. I do. I mean, I understand that. And that's the thing. Sometimes we have the push and pull is the cultural differences in what we watch and what they watch.
Right.
Now, us as anime lovers, sometimes we be like, okay, whatever. And we continue to watch what we watch because we like either the graphics or the music or
the story
or
whatever. Yeah.
It caught us and brought us in. And even though, because when Berserk, not Berserk, but even Berserk, when Berserk first started, when I watched it, I was like, they taking the cookies. Goblin Slayer. They had really? The goblins getting busy and he's smiling.
Oh, I couldn't. I could not do. No.
I was like, whoa, that's kind of deep. That's kind of deep.
That's why I turned it off. I was like, this is like disgusting.
You see what I'm saying? So us, and they usually don't. Now, Goblin Slayer did it probably first episode?
Yes.
Mm-hmm. I might, not Today the Dungeon. That was like the third or fourth. They showed where you go down here and you ain't level 5. Okay, you're gonna get it. See, so it showed it, but it wasn't as graphic as Goblin Slayer. Some anime, they have no.
Well, I think so. They have hentai over there.
Yeah.
So it's like compared to that, what happened in Goblin Slayer was mild.
Well, even some of the shows that we've watched that you've been like, not One Last Call, but what was one with the tongue? Like some of it's like,
oh boy,
hardcore.
Okay.
Like whoa.
Yeah. I mean, don't get me wrong. Even in Berserk, back in the day, Casca, that was deep.
Yeah.
That was deep, and it wasn't just one goblin. It was like a slew, and
that scene was rough.
For some odd reason, people still watched it. In the 15 different iterations of, because it's always there.
First off, that's the one book that's always sold out.
Yeah.
That chapter of the manga is always sold out. 2, that was, I don't want to say it was the payoff because of what happened. I don't want to use that word, but it was so much more to the scene, and it wasn't just
Correct.
a goblin just, you know,
Or demon
assaulting somebody for no reason. It was Griffin. He's to me, he's in love with Guts. That's how I kind of see that.
Yeah.
You hurt me. You in love with Casca. So I'm gonna do this to Casca just to hurt you.
Yeah. And it was a demon festival.
But Casca also is in love with Griffin.
Correct.
So that's why we had the conversation on the show before. I don't think it was the ape word.
But hold on. But she also loved Guts.
No, I don't think so. I think she accepted her life with Guts because Griffith was gone.
Oh.
I think she was in love with Griffith.
I thought she wanted his approval.
Griffith?
Always seeking his approval.
Yeah, from a combat standpoint,
but as far as military, as far as that's because because when
I don't even know why we're talking about this, but
I know sometimes anime is a.
But the point is, the difference is there's a big difference between a scene where some random person is being not a main character is being assaulted by some random goblin for no apparent reason, right? Versus what happened in Berserk.
Correct.
There is a difference.
So, and this one, like I said, Ghoul, Tokyo Ghoul, and Tokyo Ghoul Re, that line is not. Now, I'll say this: they have in Re, in the first 2 episodes, there is a ghoul going around. They call it Nutcracker because she's going around smashing nuts. But it's not. It's more of a joke. It's not meant to be long-winded.
So this is seasonal. This is like a holiday Christmas fairy tale.
Yeah, cause after 2 episodes, 2 or 3 episodes, she was done in. But they always give you this 1 to 2 words that they want you to think about before they die. In most anime.
Yeah.
Why you doing bad, girl? I just wanted to be pretty. And then she died.
Yeah.
So it's usually like, and it's not just like the one word, but they'll show like a backdrop of how she lived her life and how she was poor and it. But I like anime because it does have a good backdrop. I like Tokyo Ghoul because he was a nobody and he turned it around to, that's most anime, protect his family.
So would you recommend this to me? You think I would like this? Tokyo Ghoul Re?
I think you would like Tokyo Ghoul. I don't know if you would like Tokyo Ghoul Re. It's not one that you would come in and just watch. I don't think it's one like.
Well, I'm just saying if I had watched the first 2 or something, you think I would like this?
Yeah, because it tops it off.
Would you recommend Tokyo Ghoul to Unbiased Ann?
Unbiased Ann.
I'm more of like the average Joe.
If she can get past the first 2, because in most animes the main character is whiny. If you can deal with that.
I mean, we done been through hundreds of episodes of Gohan, so at this point.
Okay, so if you can deal with the one, or I don't know if you watched Attack on Titan.
Not we started it, but we stalled it.
Yeah.
So
not because we didn't like it.
Not because we didn't like it.
So you see how whiny he was?
I can't
She
even
don't
remember.
Okay.
It's been so long.
That just seems to be, that's another cultural thing. I guess that, and somebody told me one time they have to build.
They don't have to. They're choosing to, just because everybody keeps watching. When they do build it, like it's a bunch of nonsense. That's why I stopped watching My Hero. Like, stop making this crap. Like, and that's the only power that I have to control anything. It's just to stop watching it. It's like stop making this crap. Anyway,
I'm good.
Y'all,
I'm ready.
Y'all ready?
I'm ready.
Round 2.
I already prepped you on this. This is a new part here.
Yes, sir.
So, Quote Man, take it away.
Are you buying the PlayStation handheld thing?
And who said that?
I did.
Who would you say that to?
To you.
Oh, yeah. So, PlayStation Portal. We need to talk about it real quick.
Okay.
It's coming out November 15th. Let's just get the specs out of the way. November 15th, $200. $200. And I don't know why people keep acting like it's scarce and you can't get it. I keep seeing it available for pre-order, multiple places on a regular basis. So I don't know why that's still like that's a narrative that's being pushed, and I think it's probably being pushed because I don't think they're going to sell a whole bunch of them. So my original answer was no or hell no because of the limited functionality of the product. Like I don't know why Sony keeps pushing this. And I know Xbox is doing it too, but it's just like this.
Xbox doing it too?
Oh, they've been doing it.
Oh,
You could play Xbox on the phone.
Mm.
The same kind of way.
Yeah, you just don't have the fancy joystick looking.
Oh, but is that the one where you use your phone?
Uh-huh.
Yeah. Okay.
So yeah, I don't know. I don't understand. I don't know why they keep pushing this. I've never really utilized that functionality since it was first introduced PS3. You could do stuff with the Vita.
And I used the Vita when I used to play Final Fantasy Realm Reborn, the MMO RPG. So I used it as my Vita as a controller and to text. Because you remember in the beginning, all you could do was text.
I don't remember because I didn't.
Well, chat.
I didn't need or want to do that. It'd have been different if I had a need for that. Then I might have tried it out. But I had never had a need or want to do anything like that.
But so I thought about it. I did because I have some other friends, acquaintances, homies that are going to get this. But I also have friends and acquaintances that are not because they said it's $200 and it's a controller.
It's a control, yeah. And then look at it. You got to look at it like
what a
this.
screen, controller screen.
When the PSV came out, it was $250,
and
you could do more with the PSV than you can do with this thing.
Yeah.
When the PSP came out, it was $250, and you could do more with the PSP than you can do with this thing. Like this absolutely, this just does not make sense to me. It's cool. It's something rare. It's going to end up being, I think, rare and unique. And
the first time you drop it, it's going to be done. It looks like the first time you drop this, it's done.
Yeah. So did you look up anything on it? What do you think about it?
Well, I just had a few questions. So
Okay.
From what I read, it sounds like anything that you have downloaded on your PS5 or 4,
which is a problem.
Okay, yeah. That's gonna be my next question. Sounds like you can play this. Like you could take it on an airplane and play it. Right?
Probably not. Only because sometimes that airplane Wi-Fi is weak.
Okay, that was gonna be my next question.
I can't. It's hard for me to even. I can't even watch YouTube on the Wi-Fi, the plane Wi-Fi.
Right.
Okay, that was gonna be my next question because it markets it like, oh, like you could just sit in your living room and play this while like somebody else is watching TV.
Well, that's how they market it.
So here's the problem. Here's the problem with that. PlayStation Now. What was the streaming service? The video game streaming service.
I don't remember what it's called.
It was a Now Go, something like that. So when it first started, if you had crummy connection, you couldn't use the service. This is gonna be that same thing. If you don't have good service, you're gonna have problems.
Well, and what I was thinking of though as I was reading, I'm obviously thinking about you, and because I was thinking, well, where would he use this? Because
Genesis.
one, he's not gonna have me let me. I don't want to say let me, but he's not gonna be like, sure, go ahead and watch your show, and on our 80-inch TV or whatever we have. I'll just sit over here on this little screen and play.
But not just a little screen, not just an 8-inch screen. 1080p 8-inch screen.
Right. That was my next thing. That's what I.
So I got an 8K TV.
Yeah.
8K, not 4K. Got an 8K TV. Right.
Yeah.
With the receiver.
Right.
That handles 4K, whatever, 120 hertz plus
surround sound
plus 8K. What? But my problem is that's how they're promoting it though. Yeah. That's how they're promoting it. Let everybody else use the TV. You can use the little screen.
Well, and I get that because not everybody's like us. I mean, some people, if they have families, like their kids want to watch TV or whatever, so you don't always get to, play what you want. But for him, I'm thinking I can't see him wanting this because one, he's not going to be okay playing it on a small screen when we have what we have. And then I'm thinking, when would he use this? Like maybe if we go on a trip, but then it says you have to have a certain level of Wi-Fi. And I'm like, I just can't. And what about
because sometimes the hotel Wi-Fi not even
well, and
great.
my last point is about the downloaded stuff. Does that include like physical?
No.
Okay, that was going to be my next thing.
So it has to
No.
be specifically games that you bought online,
Right.
and have
Installed,
downloaded,
Which he doesn't do.
I don't do that.
So, yeah.
Not enough to buy this. I mean, I have some games like
I have some games that are download only, like Genshin Impact.
Yeah,
But
I wouldn't
buy this to play Genshin
no.
Impact on the road.
And then I have the Midnight Suns, and I have Sonic that I got downloaded only. That's 2 games. I don't want to pay $200. So that's $100 a game,
Yeah.
basically.
Now, and here's the other thing that I didn't see. I don't want to sit up here and say you can't do it, right? But the other thing that I didn't see is obviously it has the controllers attached to it. But can I prop this up somewhere? Because this looks extremely heavy to me.
Mm-hmm.
Can I prop this up like a Switch and play with a controller? I didn't see anything like that. I'm not saying you
like
can't.
Like your base.
But I'm just saying I didn't see it. So can I plug this in to a TV? Now we're talking. Like, assuming that we're at a hotel where I can actually get good
service
Wi-Fi.
And just have this with you rather than bringing
Because
the big
we
boy.
did that. We went to, I was playing 2K. I don't remember which one. I was playing it hardcore. We went on a road trip, and I took the PlayStation with me to New Orleans and then to Florida.
Oh, yeah.
So if I didn't, if I would prefer, I mean, you see my stuff. It don't move. I would prefer not to ever move my stuff ever.
Right.
So if I could take this, plug it into a TV, play with a controller,
and it will come up on the TV.
yeah. Now we're talking about something different.
I don't remember if that was a function.
Now you could persuade me, but I don't know if he can even do any of that. Now, here's the other thing. I don't want to sound elitist, or I don't know what the word is, right? But if you can afford to spend $200 on this, I've seen TVs with a better resolution than 1080p on Black Friday that cost less than $200. So I'm not saying you have the room for additional TV in your living room or in your theater room or in your bedroom next to your brother's TV or whatever. I'm not saying you got the room for it. But what I'm saying is you can buy a whole separate TV for cheaper than you can get this. So this whole thought of there's only one TV in the whole house, so you can play here while everybody else is watching Jeopardy. You can literally just buy another TV.
Yeah.
And avoid all of this. So to answer your question, would I buy this? No. Did I pre-order this? Yes. So for two reasons, 2 things though. One, because we are trying, I'm just putting out announcements here, just throwing stuff out there. We are trying to go to conventions and set up shop and promote the show and meet the people and play games with the people and blah, blah, blah. So I think my personal opinion is that if we do giveaways, which we've done giveaways in the past, giving away something that people would want to have but would never buy, I feel like those are the good giveaway items.
Yeah.
So I pre-ordered this for that reason. 2, I can cancel.
Right. Because we already got lots of good stuff to give away.
We got lots of good stuff
by
to give
the way.
But if it happens that this does become like super rare, people want it, they're all sold out, I have one reserved ready to go.
Yeah.
Right? So I just to be safe for podcast purposes, I pre-ordered one. What about you? What is your final
answer?
What is your final answer on PlayStation Portal?
If I do spend $200, it'll never come out the box. It'll be more as a kind of
collection.
Yeah.
Collector.
Because I think this is what this is going to turn into. Because a lot of companies do this a lot. Nintendo used to be notorious for it.
Mm-hmm.
Not so much anymore, but they will put out something weird like this, hoping that it does well. Usually doesn't. They end up selling 30,000 of them. 5,000 get broken, 5,000 get lost, another 2,000 get burned up in the house. 10, 15, 20 years from now, there's only going to be 5,000 left in good shape.
Yeah.
And collectors were going to pay top dollar for it. So I think if I had to guess, that's what's going to happen here. So you getting it and keeping it in the box and putting it up somewhere might be the right idea.
Yeah, because I don't think that long term, this will be the answer to nothing.
Mm-mm. It would be cool if, like you said, because if if it could plug into a TV, we could
TV.
take it on trips and
But you can't even do stuff like you can only run games on it too. So I can't run YouTube
Yep.
or Netflix.
Like you could on a Vita.
Well, I mean, I'm talking about through the connection.
The last one you could run movies. You can do
Now, I don't know about the actual system, if you can download apps on the system.
right.
They haven't really talked about that. But what I'm saying is when you're through your streaming connection, we can't watch Netflix through it. I did read that.
You can't.
Can't.
So do you remember the last video that was out? The last video that was out gave us YouTube. It gave us some other options that we could use. YouTube. Now, YouTube wasn't as big at the time. That was years ago. But it gave you options with other functions. Now you're taking all of those functions, and I know this is not a Vita. It don't have little games. It don't have the little games like Switch.
Mhm.
You don't have the discs like they did in the very beginning.
The UMDs.
The UMDs, which were trash too.
I didn't mind the UMDs, but they broke.
Correct. That's the thing.
The plastic case broke.
And then there was no place to fix them.
Right. There was no replacements.
So we'll see. Like I said, if mine will be in the box. Yep. Because I have controllers. I have the original 200 was 150.
For what?
The Elite controller.
No, it was 200.
So you get a controller that's Elite, and now you bring out a controller with a screen that's 200. So both for $200. One you use all the time.
Now, if we can get, I don't know if it's touchscreen or not. Now I'm gonna throw this out there. Game Boy Advance SP, hooking it up to the Nintendo GameCube back in the day. So Final Fantasy Crystal Chronicles is what I'm remembering. You can go through your items on the Game Boy.
So it's an added function.
Right. So if you can do that, if you can play Madden with this and pick your plays, right? If you playing co-op on the same couch, you can pick your plays and they can't see it. It's dope. Use this what I'm saying is, can we use this as an actual controller with the PS5 where there's additional functionality on the screen? I can pick my plays. I can go through my bag. I'm playing Fallout. I can
Right.
doing whatever. I don't remember because the old bad game. Anyway, hey, but just something here, right? That adds another level, because the original rumors were that there was going to be a screen on the PS5 controller.
Okay.
That you could do that kind of stuff with. So maybe there's additional functionality down the line.
Yeah.
Next year it might do something else, and they might add something in the year after that.
Then once I get it, I'll think about taking it out the box at the time.
So what about you? You want one?
No.
So you can play your PS5 games while I'm watching Keeping Up with the Kardashians?
Nope. I'm good. I can use my phone for whatever I need.
Okay. All right. So if there's any more information that comes out about this, be sure to pass it along when we get a chance. But again, November 15th, they keep saying the pre-orders are sold out, but I keep seeing them. So if you want one, you can get one, $200 for
Right.
a little portable TV with a controller. Y'all ready for the next round?
Yep.
Round 3.
Whoop. I tried to be quick. I don't think is this the first time we've mentioned Mortal Kombat on this episode?
Yeah.
The whole episode is supposed to be so we can review Mortal Kombat 1.
Correct.
Yep, we hadn't even talked about it.
We ain't said Mortal Kombat one time. You were pretty talking about guts and what's going on with Casca when she was naked.
I said I had a lot to talk about.
Okay. Yeah, you had three years worth of content.
Yeah.
Mortal Kombat 1. I don't even know where to start here. So, a new thing that we've been doing on the show is spoiler free. This is a fighting game. There ain't really a whole bunch of spoil, so
No.
we're going to skip the spoiler free today and just get right into our review.
Why is it called Mortal Kombat 1? There's other Mortal Kombats out.
I think it was time for them to rebrand, kind of start over.
Okay.
They wrote it into the story on how they kind of fixed everything and how they were able to start back over, because there's a whole lot of time change and time stuff going on.
In the last two.
So it's just like, oh, we're just gonna start over, you know. So yeah,
What?
Liu Kang is the god of fire.
okay. That's where you want to start. Okay.
He is the god of fire, and you also have a god of lightning.
But he's not a god on here.
No, he's not.
So spoiler, I guess we
Spoiler alert.
spoiling stuff already. I don't.
Well, I can say this.
Okay, how about you start?
Yes.
Because I have too much.
History.
I've been playing this game since it came out, Mortal Kombat.
Yeah.
Now I stopped, and this is the first Mortal Kombat I've played since in 2000.
Okay.
Oh wow.
Yeah, first Mortal Kombat I've played probably since 2000. So I'm gonna let you.
All right, I got no skin in the game here. I
maybe
don't care
99.
either way.
Yeah.
I will just tell you this. I mean, of course, I've heard of Mortal Kombat. I think, did we watch a movie? Was that movie we watched?
Yeah,
Okay.
we watched a movie, what, 2 years ago?
Yeah.
And we talked about it really bad.
Yeah. So, but I will say this about the game, that I really like the graphics. I thought it was really pretty.
Okay.
What do you remember what it was called? What we started on, the story mode? That's what I started on.
Yeah, we started the story.
Okay. So one thing, I didn't really like the mouth, but I know the mouth is always challenging in these games. But I really liked the graphics. I thought the background was really pretty. I liked the bar, whatever. I liked all of that. And I really thought it was cool how they would be like in the middle of the story, and then they transition so seamlessly into the fighting.
Mhm.
Usually it's much more obvious that it is like a switch.
Mhm.
They did that really well.
Yeah.
So I enjoyed the story because to me, watching just yes, back in the day when I used to play Street Fighter, yes, I could just do the arcade mode over and over and over and over again. Now that I'm older, I get bored with that very easily. So I like the story mode. I liked when you went into the house.
I went somewhere?
Yeah, that guy, I'm forgetting his name all of a sudden. The actor guy.
Oh, Johnny Cage?
Indiana Jones, basically. I liked that what you were doing where you had to earn stuff to go in the different directions.
Yeah.
And again, I liked all of the graphics of that house even.
Okay.
So that's really all I can offer. I like the story, I like the graphics, and I like kind of all the different options they had that you could do.
So yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and say that I like the graphics overall. There's some problem with some character movements sometimes, so it was just kind of weird that sometimes people move funny and sometimes most of the time they was fine, and sometimes the characters didn't have much detail on their face and their skin, so they kind of all look like Barbie dolls or something, or some kind of little action figure, But generally speaking, it just has good graphics.
Yeah.
What you think about the graphics?
The graphics were nice. And like you said, the fluidity.
Yes.
The fluidity was really, even like some of the moves, you could tell how fluid they were. Now, combo setup, I won't say was anything near perfect.
It was bad.
As far as the fighting, you mean? Okay.
So I guess with most fighting games, now it gave you like a 5 hit and how much damage, or 6 hit and how much damage you did. But as far as how fluid the fighting was, at times it got kind of clunky.
It was real clunky. It's just a situation where it's real basic.
Yeah.
This is a real basic fighting game as far as the fighting and the mechanics.
Mm-hmm.
It's super basic.
It seemed like it was fast. It seemed like you were getting through those fights really fast. Is that what you mean?
No, I feel like for the amount of buttons I had to press, that people should have been dead a long time ago.
Oh, okay.
It's not like, so if we rank these in between two of the other major fighting games, and there are probably about 6, but Street Fighter and Tekken. Tekken is really meticulous about the fighting style and the combos and how many combos you can do together, how many you can bridge together. I never felt like you could bridge anything. And one of the reasons why, you pushed the wrong button one time, your combo's messed up.
Yeah, and so a lot of the longer combos that you have on this game just consist of basic punches and basic kicks.
Correct.
It's not like that on other fighting games.
No.
So that's not necessarily how you do, like other fighting games. You might do a move or two, maybe pop somebody up in the air, get them before they hit the ground, and do another combo before they hit the ground. Another combination of buttons to do another combo before they hit the ground. And then before they hit the ground again, maybe hit them with a special, which gets even more damage done, right? The combos just consisted of you hitting strong punch, weak punch, strong punch, weak punch, low kick, high kick.
And the layout of the buttons isn't great. So here's one of the other things I didn't like. The way they laid your block, I didn't like the block. The way that, so block is R1,
R2,
and when you're blocking R2, if you just R2, they can still kick your legs, can still kick your mid. You have to be able to kind of know where you need to go in order to block.
So me, the way this game is set up, you kind of have to block at a certain point. Like you have to start blocking in this game.
Yeah.
Me, I'm not a blocker. In most fighting games, you're not gonna see me block a whole lot. So I don't even, the fact that this game relies heavily on blocking. Once you get into the more advanced fights, I don't really like that so much.
So you are offensive fighter. So if any kind of defense deters you from
My offense is my defense.
it can be.
Yeah.
Unless there's somebody else like we witnessed today in the
I don't even count that as offense.
in the cheese mode in the cheese and you know it's that in online play or even in arena style, it's always been there. There's always a way to or a character who can kind of cheese you or get you in a
I think what this particular person was doing, anybody could have done. Any character could have done. Maybe not the long one from across the screen, but get you in a corner and keep doing the same move over and over. It didn't really matter what character he had. So I fought online earlier when Terrence first got here.
Yeah.
And when it was just regular fighting, I was beating this dude's ass. It wasn't really close, right?
Yeah.
All of a sudden, he just gets me in the corner and just start spamming the same move over and 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 over.
Because it was a fast enough kick to where even
when I blocked it.
Yeah, and even if he got to move out, if he missed, it was over.
Yeah. So even if I blocked the move, this one move he was doing, I didn't have enough time to even do another move.
Because I think he tried to do the Raiden's lightning, and then it missed. And then it was corner, corner.
So online was that's just gonna be a no for me. That's a no for me, dog.
And this wasn't even the ranked matches.
No, this was a casual match with a brand new player spamming the same move in the corner over and over and over. That's whack.
Yeah.
That's whack. Now I'm not saying there's no way to do it. I'm in no way saying I'm an expert at this game. I'm not saying that.
But we both witnessed one of the downsides to some of the fighting games. Once they get you in the corner, it's hard to get out.
Right, which is not even really fighting. You just found a way to get around.
Correct.
Right.
Yeah.
Now,
but if this was Street Fighter, I would have did uppercut and I would have been out the corner in 2 seconds.
Correct. Yeah. Or if it was Tekken, you could have sidestepped him.
Yep.
But what about King of Fighters? I mean, we have to talk about the top games here.
I don't even want to. King of Fighters is not even in the conversation.
Mike B's not here, so
right. Yeah.
I won't. But the other portion is I think they only added 2 new characters. They have a lot of people coming. They have like 5 coming out in the DLC. And you know they always do like a random character. And one of the characters that they said was, I don't know if any of you have watched the show The Boys.
No. Oh no, we haven't watched it.
One of the characters from that show will be in this next. So you know WB usually does their WB characters.
Yeah.
And then they'll add like a random, because you know you've had Predator, you've had Alien, you've had Jason, you've had Leatherface. They've done all of these other characters. Kratos for the PS5. So you know they're in the tradition of giving you a plethora of characters and costumes. That's what Mortal Kombat is about, and fatalities. So
I'm glad you brought up WB. WWB. So here's one of my bigger problems with the game. The story mode, generally speaking, in a game should be your main part of your game. right? This story mode in here is a lot of movies, a lot of just cutscenes. And it's just like, bro, y'all don't even make good regular movies. Warner Brothers, y'all don't even make good regular movies. Like, why are you spending all this time and money in a game to try to put some kind of game movie together in this game and call it a story? Like, stop. Like, this is the story. To me, the story mode was whack to me. Like, it was great graphics.
Yeah.
You covering up bullshit with a bunch of good graphics, and that's great. But the gameplay for this game is trash, and the story itself was just like, it's a little corny at times, it's a little cheesy at times.
It was a little bit, yeah.
And it's just like, this is not quality. Like, this ain't Final Fantasy level quality stories, right? And I'm not saying any fighting game has it, but but this, like, you're trying though. You see what I'm saying? It seems like you're trying real hard to make this some kind of cool in-depth story, and it's just like, it's a miss for me. So it's just like, I don't have no desire to even continue the story mode. I don't care.
Yeah, I won't. I mean, yeah, let me be clear. I didn't really love the story from the story mode. I just liked that it had a story mode, because you don't always get that,
especially in fighting games.
Exactly,
Right.
That's what I mean. Like, with a fighting game, that's a rarity. So I did like that it had it, but I will say it wasn't a strong story.
So, like with our Tekken, in the game, it's really no story, but you get a movie outside of it.
You get a little minute clip once you beat the game with that certain character.
Correct.
And that's it.
And that's how that's
like
their franchise.
Cutscene?
That's all we've ever, with each character. You get like a 20-second clip.
And I'm okay with cutscenes too, because I like that with Last of Us. Like, I really liked, it was like play, and then you get like a short little movie, play,
Yeah. But I mean, but my thing is, if you're gonna do it, just make sure your story is up to par.
Right. Yeah.
Make sure everything is up to par, and it's something good, and it's something meaningful, and it's something people will enjoy. I did not enjoy the story mode.
So and I'm gonna make this pretty quick. The cameos, that was new. I don't remember that in the last one, where you have, like, you can pick a person to go out with you, and they have like a move that you can R1, and they'll come out and they'll do a special move. If you grab somebody, they'll join in the grab with you. If you hit somebody and they go up in the air, they may throw fireballs at them. So that was a cool little concept to bring back some of the old characters.
It was kind of clunky too, though.
Yeah, at times, yeah, it was.
Like, it was a situation where I was using that function, and my character froze. So it's like I couldn't even really follow it up with any kind of combo after maybe Scorpion comes out and pops him up in the air or something.
Correct.
Like, I was just frozen. The other thing I didn't like is if I called you out to run out and do something and you hit me, it will make him just go away and not even do his move.
Yeah.
I was like, this is kind of whack. This is kind of whack. Like, the fight, it's a fighting game, and the fighting is just so bad. It's the same issue I had with Injustice 2 when we played it and reviewed it.
I forgot about Injustice.
I don't think we did it on the YouTube. I think this is still.
Injustice is a WB game too.
Yeah, it's the same. It's the same thing. And so this is what I kept saying to people. People, you gonna get the new Mortal Kombat? Nah, man, Mortal Kombat whack. It's been whack. When the last time you played?
23 years ago.
I played 23 years ago. Then I tell people, I said, but I played Injustice 2. And they say, oh, well, no, Mortal Kombat different. Mortal Kombat better.
Same mechanics.
It's the same. Like, it's the same. Actually, I might have liked Injustice a little bit better because there was more stuff with the environment. You could pick up something. I could pick up this light right here and hit Terrence in the head with it.
So you
can't do that on here.
Yeah, they've added some other elements in order. I don't remember. And there have been times when you could in Mortal Kombat pick up some stuff and throw it at somebody.
And I'm not trying to get too technical with it because I can't get that technical with it because
it's not a technical game.
Sweeping people from across the screen, uppercutting people from across the screen.
Well, that's what's name.
Hitting people, and like you could clearly see there's a big gap in between your fist and their face, but the punch still lands.
Yeah. So Johnny Cage is one of his moves from ever, and in the olden days we all knew how to get out of it. Well, he does this like electric slide with one leg and it comes across the screen. But watching him, that electric kick, it moves.
Well, I'm not even talking about that. I'm just talking about a regular uppercut. I'm 5 steps away from you and it lands.
Oh, I didn't never.
Oh yeah, you got to look harder.
So when I did play, I don't ever remember anybody catching us with an uppercut like that. But
it happened multiple times. What I didn't like about it, one, I just don't like that. That's just bad mechanics, right? But two, when I tried to do it, it wouldn't work.
Oh, so it wouldn't work for you.
No. I would do it too.
Uh-huh.
When I tried to deliberately do it, I couldn't. It wouldn't work. So I'm just like,
so yeah,
bad. So let me tell a little story about the basic gameplay. There is an audience for this. There is an audience for this game. And the people that I know that like this game, these Mortal Kombat games, the Injustice games, are people who are not good at video games. Because the fighting on here is so basic. So basic. Like, generally speaking, everybody thinks they can play fighting games because you just get up there and mash buttons.
Right.
Well, if you play somebody who actually knows how to play the game, you're going to get beat. This is not really like that because the game is so basic. The audience for this is, one, people who can't play games very well. And two, the reason I say this, tell me if you remember this. I started off with the Nintendo. You had 2 buttons.
Yep.
Then the Sega Genesis had 3 buttons. Some people were rich and had Super Nintendo too.
Sure did.
And they had some buttons at the top, right? When the N64 came out, some people's excuses, not older, but once they became grown, excuses on why they don't play games and specifically why they stopped playing fighting games is that the combos were too hard. I don't understand it. There's too many buttons. I don't know how to do it. So I stopped playing. That is the audience for this game. Because I feel like this is super, super basic. I feel like I could plug in a Sega Genesis controller and achieve mostly the same thing.
How long did it take you to do the fatality? Pretty quick.
Pretty quick. I feel like you did that.
What you mean, like actually inputting a command? Yeah. Oh, it was just 4 buttons. It was 4. It was a four command entry. So yeah. So if you're bad at video games.
Maybe we don't say it like that. Maybe it's just like you're not.
If you suck at video games and it's too many buttons and I don't know how to do a combo, so therefore I keep losing in fighting games, this is a game for you.
So let me say this as well. This is one of the games that they do in Vegas. There's Street Fighter and Tekken. This is one of those games that they do for competition prizes, and so at home. It may be for those who aren't great.
Yeah.
But when it goes to the tournament, you
better know.
You better know how to use.
Well, yeah, you're betting money and stuff.
Money, fame, you get sponsorships. Yeah. So, I mean, maybe with us, it's like, oh, okay, I can play.
Right.
I'll play. But like.
So this is what I'm going to say. Just because you can, quote unquote, master this game and go to a tournament and play, like that doesn't mean you're good at video games. This would not be a game that I would test somebody's skills in to see if they were good at games or not. If you want to have a Mortal Kombat tournament, that's fine. I'm not gonna say that just because the person won a Mortal Kombat tournament that they're automatically they must be good at games.
So what do you think? What fighting game you think Tekken is something that like you gotta have skills to truly
to win a Tekken tournament?
Yeah,
you gotta have some crazy skills.
Well, here's the thing: those same people who do that game will probably play this one as well.
That's fine.
Yeah,
but what I'm saying is, if it's just that, if that's all I see, if I see Terrence and you go play a Mortal Kombat tournament and you winning, I'm not just gonna be like, oh, Terrence good at games. Like that's not the
determining factor.
No, that's not gonna be the determining
right, because
factor.
you're like, well, that's not saying much.
That's not saying a whole lot because the game is not that challenging.
Yeah.
It's just super basic. Now, if you go win a Tekken tournament, now we're talking.
Then it's like mad respect.
Hold on. What about Street Fighter tournament?
Yeah, probably a little less than Tekken, but yeah,
because of the technical aspect of it.
Yeah, but yeah, Street Fighter definitely, some respect there as well. This, no, No. So let's talk about some other things in the game. One other thing, I'm gonna give y'all some ANX pro tips. This is what pissed me off about the game. I told y'all I was gonna talk about it on the show. There are I forget what it's called. Objectives. They have daily objectives, they got monthly objectives. However, there is some kind of intro objectives that you have to do that kind of shows you like this is what you do, right? I never saw that. So I get to playing for hours. I was still stuck unknowingly. I was still stuck on the basic default intro objectives.
So you didn't go into training and do their objectives in training?
No, one of the objectives was to go to practice. One of the intro objectives was to open the settings.
Oh my gosh.
I never did that. So I was stuck. So I never got any extra credit for all those hours that I played because I was still stuck on the intro objective, not knowing that that was even a thing.
So I did the practice. And the reason I did practice is because I hadn't played in for a while. So I did need, especially with Tanya and one of the other characters, I hadn't played with them or I hadn't played with them in a while. And because over the years, subtle changes have been made. I remember Scorpion had a chain. Now he has a rope.
You don't need to go to practice for that.
No, but they
just saying.
He just wanted to refamiliarize himself.
Yeah, just familiarize. I mean, I don't just want to walk into a game and because the character you play with, is that the character you play with? Raiden, is that pretty much the character you always play with?
No, I play with all kind of like again story time. Like from 1992 to 1999, like Mortal Kombat was probably my favorite game and my favorite franchise.
Okay.
From Mortal Kombat 1 to Mortal Kombat for the Sega to Mortal Kombat Trilogy for the N64. Like that was my shit. I was playing Mortal Kombat all the time. Mortal Kombat 4 came out. They tried to do the 3D thing.
Okay.
I didn't like it, so I stopped playing it. And then by that time, Tekken Tag Tournament had came out for the PS2, right, at launch. And then Tekken,
So pro tip, go in and do your basics.
Go in and make sure you do your basic objectives before you get deep into whether it be the story mode or the invasion mode. Before you get deep into either one of those, because that story mode will just keep going. It won't stop. There's no like stopping point like, oh, here you can quit here. No, it'll just keep playing movies over and over and over and over. So before you get too deep in that, make sure you do your intro basic objectives. So everything you do after that, you can get credit for.
Yep.
That's the ANX pro tip. What else?
We talked about the training. We talked about the practice. We talked about the online play. We talked about the story mode. We talked about characters enough. We weren't in depth because in reality, out of the was it 15 new characters?
I don't know.
20. I think it was 20. Out of the 20 characters you had, only 2 of them were new, and that was Tanya and there was one other one.
Mm-hmm.
So it wasn't a lot of. Look here, Luke Cage, been there forever. Raiden, been there forever.
Luke Cage.
Liu Kang.
Oh, Liu Kang.
Been there
Johnny
forever.
Cage.
Johnny
He
Cage.
fused.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was like,
together.
Luke Cage, wait a minute.
All of those characters have been there forever. So, now what's the name? She was a cameo character. A couple of Jacks. They were cameos, so they weren't in the game as far as playable, but they were usable.
I mean, I would assume at some point they would make them a playable character.
Yeah.
The whole cameo thing kind of seems I don't know what's up with that. But I don't know how you make a Mortal Kombat game and Sonya and Jax and Baraka are not like playable characters. But they're in the game. It's kind of weird. I had one more big ANX pro tip. But I got one more gripe too before we get into that. This game is so basic. I think people should start off by playing invasions. I think I would start there instead of starting with the story.
Rather than practice?
I don't do practice, man. I'm what's it say on the screen?
But
right under my name.
but
What's
for
it say right
people
there?
but for people who do want to do practice,
No, I don't know. That's foreign to me. I'm not telling people to practice. But because here's the deal. For you to practice, a lot of times you had to have something to practice. If you don't know how to play the game, you're just pressing buttons.
Yeah, but in order to use their combo system, because we already talked about how the combo system is set up. In order to use their combo system, it would be beneficial to.
I think it's more beneficial to start with invasions, because as you progress through this like Monopoly board, it kind of reminds me more of Mario Party or something like that. As you go through this board, you're walking around. As you progress through it, they teach you how to do certain things. They teach you how to counter. They teach you how to use this move. They teach you how to use the special move. They teach you how to do this. Like usually games put that in the story mode right in the beginning. Like they teach you how to do things as you go along. Oh, this is press art. Now you have the ability to summon magic. This is how you do it, right? They didn't really do that in the story mode, but they did it in invasions. So if it kind of gives you more of a basic training as you go through that first board on invasions. Now, the thing that I'm griping about is this game is so basic. Trash. I'm going to throw that out there. The story mode actually starts you off, you don't have any magic powers. You fight with Raiden, he has no electric.
Right, they're just like regular.
They're just regular punching and kicking. So it's even more boring than it is even with the powers.
I noticed that too. I was kind of confused because some pictures, like I see his eyes lit up, right?
Raiden?
Yeah. But here, there was like nothing.
Yeah, so it's just like that story mode. I don't know. Just don't start with that. I would start with the invasion, especially if you want to learn how to play. It teaches you how to play. And then you can go into the story mode after that. That's just how I would do it.
So what was your other gripe?
I don't know. I don't remember.
No. You said you had another pro tip, but you wanted to gripe first.
That's the pro tip.
Oh, I see. Okay.
Pro tip is to, let's probably want to go into invasions first because it actually teaches you more.
Gotcha.
Of how to do certain things, how to parry, how to block, how to counter. It teaches you that along the way.
And so what he says along the way, so I did do practice first.
Mm-hmm. Is that you tend to do that? It's just that's just how you usually do it.
I mean, you pick a character who you want to use, and then you kind of practice with them. And it'll in the first 5 steps, it teaches you basic punches. It teaches you grappling. It teaches you now. And that being said, it's more, I guess, choreographed because you know what's coming compared to playing against invasion where you don't know what's coming and when it's coming. But
no, it's the same way. It almost sounds like what you're talking about is built into invasions.
Okay.
Like what's coming. They're about to throw a punch, but do this, hold R2 first to block.
Okay.
And like that happens during invasion.
And in practice they have it too.
Okay.
Yeah. So, but I'm glad you said choreograph. So if this is how basic the game is. You can press a button, you can do a move. If you like not having any control over your character, you press some kind of input and just watch them do this long animation. Mm-hmm. You're not actually fighting.
Mm-hmm.
Then this is the game for you. Like this is the game for you. If you like that basic shit and you don't actually like fighting, if you don't like actually fighting in a fighting game and you just want to press some buttons and see some little predetermined motions then this is for you then.
So we know how Genesis feels. What do you think? Did you like it?
Had a lot of flaws.
Yeah.
A lot of flaws. Pretty, yes. Mechanics, no.
Mm-hmm.
And I played a little story, but I played. So my issue, and this is, I played with friends, so that aspect we could play together. But mechanically, it really didn't matter.
So online,
but it's not a co-op game. Though.
No. I don't mean
you were fighting your friends.
I was fighting my friends.
Oh, I see. Okay.
Yeah. So I was fighting, and because actually you can get in basically like a bubble, and then take turns fighting each other. Blah 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 blah. That portion I enjoyed, but after a while, you'd be like, okay.
Is that
that's really what I said. I was like, Okay. I've quenched my thirst for this, and then, I mean, will I go back to it? Will we play again? Probably. Right now, no.
Is that more like the arcade mode when you're playing with a friend?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like arcade, and then you get into a room.
So it's
And
like 4 of us in a room.
Oh,
I'm fighting you. Everybody else is watching.
Yeah.
Usually, I don't know about this one, but usually there's a chat. You can type
Oh,
to each
okay.
other,
Yeah.
and then after that,
But
the winner stays, and then
Yeah, I don't think it's chat. Everything's still mic'd up, so you can still yeah, I beat you, yeah, and then going back to business.
Yeah.
So what about what you?
I mean, I obviously wasn't really paying attention to the mechanics. Like I said, the story, it was okay. I liked that okay, let me clarify. I liked that there was a story. The storyline was okay. Like I said, I really liked the graphics. I did notice like there were some weird movements. Sometimes it looked kind of, I don't know if glitchy is the right word, but it was like awkward. Like they didn't have it down.
That where I can jump over somebody's head and do a front kick, but they're behind me and it lands.
Mm-hmm.
That's whack.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
bad.
That's bad. I mean, yeah. Now if it's a character who has like the split kick and he jumps over you and he kicks you from, you know what it is. But just a regular person jumps all the way over, gets all on those set, and he kicks at the air and you take damage. Yeah, that's a mechanical issue.
Me not really being a big, gamer, I was more like, ooh, it's pretty.
I mean, and that it
he
is.
Everywhere he kept going, I was like, ooh, look at the background.
Mm-hmm.
But that's like a little kid. I feel like you're just like, oh.
But even Injustice was pretty.
Oh, it was.
Yeah, good graphics.
Yeah,
So
it was.
WB, I'll give you tons of credit for a beautiful game.
But I'm taking all that credit from you because instead of putting more effort into making a better video game,
Yeah.
you putting all this effort into making good graphics to cover up the fact that your game is lousy and trash.
Right. It's like watching a movie with like very beautiful people, but they can't act. It's like, okay, yes, they're nice to look at,
Yeah.
but I mean, this is horrible.
And
So-
these games are still $70.
Yeah.
So I'm glad you said that. See, well, he moving the show right along, but it's we've been going for an hour and 32 minutes. Anyway, this is how we do the games nowadays. How much would you recommend somebody pay for this game today?
$39.99.
I was gonna say 30.
I'm at the 30. I'm at the $30 price point as well.
Yeah.
Which
New $30 new.
What's coming up the Friday. Yeah. The Friday.
Yeah.
And the Friday, this game will be either $29 or $39.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it might be too new, but it might be.
No, not what I don't think it's moving that fast anymore.
The only reason I think that it will be is that it has microtransactions. So if they can get the people to start buying into the microtransactions, then that will drastically drop the price of the default game because they're making all the money off the transactions. I feel like a lot of times a bigger title, which the name is a bigger title, but the game is trash, right? After a couple of months, that first Black Friday is discounted, but I don't think it's going to be 60% off.
No.
It might drop down to the $49.99.
Okay.
You see what I'm saying? Like if this would have came out last year, I would have been like, yeah, definitely.
$19.99. Yeah.
Yeah, it would definitely been in the $30 bin. But yeah, I'm at $30, and that's just for graphics. One more thing, we're talking about sound, music. The voice actors were okay. Everybody was just kind of too serious. It was kind of weird. But the music was kind of, I don't want to say it was whack, but it was like WB was trying to make a movie. Everything sounded like a movie score.
Mm-hmm.
There wasn't anything memorable about the music except for when I beat the tower and there was somebody rapping. Okay, but that's also in line with how default movies go. During the movie, there's this score, there's these horns,
Right.
there's this orchestra.
Yeah.
Then at the end, there's somebody with an actual song playing when the credits roll. That's how this is set up as well. This is not a movie, it's a video game. Work on your movie skills, WB, and don't do it with our video games. $30 new. $30 new. That's what I'm saying. And
Hold
that's,
out.
and that's it. Yeah. So yeah, $25 used. Go get it. Right. But that's only because of how new it is and the graphics. If this was a year from now, I would have said this is a $10 game.
Yeah.
I'd pay $10 for this game next year.
Yeah.
A year from now.
I get that.
Next fall, $10. That's how much it'll be worth to me. Trash ass game. Y'all ready to wrap up?
Yes.
Are you sure? You know you don't have to talk right when I hit the button, right?
Oh, I don't?
No.
I forgot you can edit.
Well, we don't have to edit. It's just like we can say other stuff here.
Oh, okay.
We can still be talking.
All right.
It's just done with the review. But anyway.
Okay. All right. That's it for today, guys. Thanks for listening to ANX Gamecast. If you enjoyed the show, please make sure you like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell so you'll be the first to know when we release new episodes. See you next week.
I didn't hear none of that in this game. Piece of crap.